What's up and welcome back to my channel. My name is Jaleesa if you're new here, and if you're already part of the family, meaning that you're already subscribed, hello, what's up? I'm so happy y'all came here today with me. So in this video today, we're going to be basically going over what to expect when you go on your first Carnival cruise. If you don't know, my last video I posted a vlog with me and my family. We went on our first ever cruise and we decided to go with Carnival, which was great. We had a great time, but there was a lot of things that there's not many videos out there about on like what to expect when you get on the cruise, and so there were so much things that I learned that I just wanted to take the time to share with you guys. So let's get into it.
Hey, yeah, I need someone to be patient with me.
Me and my family, we cruised on the Carnival Mardi Gras. We did this back in July. We went on a 6-day cruise with 3 ports. The first port was Bahamas. The second port was Embark, Cove, which is Dominican Republic. And then the third one was Turks and cacios. And so we had a really good time. It was a great experience, but there were some things that I wasn't expecting that I learned about after being on a cruise ship. So let's get into it. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to talk about is going to be embarkation day, which is basically when you get on the ship. And so that's the first day of the cruise. Basically what you do is you check your bags in when you first arrive in the parking lot, then you go and you get in line. We arrived about 30 minutes earlier than our check-in time, which was about 12 p.m. Which was great. I liked having an earlier time, meant that we get on the ship earlier and everything like that. Now going through the port is just almost similar to an airport without TSA hassling you. So that was a really good experience. It didn't take us long to get through there, but they did not allow cameras once you got past a certain point. So I only have footage of us, like actual area where they check you in. There's no footage there, but I do have footage of us like going on the bridge to lead up. It's like a long walkway. And so that was really, it wasn't a bad experience. Now, if you have a lot of carry-on bags, that's a whole nother story. But for the most part, that was the easiest experience. Now, once you get past the check-ins, then you go onto a ramp that leads you onto the cruise ship. Once you get on the cruise ship, you do have to do the safety, and I can't remember what it's called now, but you have to do the safety course where they tell you how to use a life vest and everything. That was really quick, really easy. By the time we got to our rooms, our bags were pretty much already there. So we were able to change clothes and different things like that. And then you get ready for the sail away party. Now, when we were on the cruise, on the day of the sail away party, it rained. If you saw my vlog, you know. So I didn't get the full sail away party experience from like the videos that you see on YouTube, but we still had a great time because I did end up out there dancing and having a good time. So ended up being good, but we were in the rain. Now, one thing that I want to say is that if you are flying into the port on the day of your cruise, that is a bad decision. I do advise that you fly in the day before, because we had some people that was in our party that was coming on the cruise ship with us. Their flight ended up getting delayed and they missed that first day on the port. And so because they had their passports, they were able to fly in to the next port. But say for instance you don't have the extra money, you don't necessarily want to miss that first day of the cruise. So if you are going on the cruise ship, on your birth certificate you do have different lines that you have to go through when you're going through checking in, but for the most part it was a breeze. There was no issues there. But if you do end up missing your cruise ship and you don't have your passport, of course you won't be able to go to the ports. You lose out on all of your money for the cruise. So I would advise to definitely use your passport. You can use your birth certificate, of course, but if there's anything that goes wrong, you get sick at one of the ports or anything like that, like there's no way for you to technically get back home. You'll be in another country and you can't. There's nothing you can do. So that is a risk that we took. My family, we did go on our birth certificates and we didn't have any issues, but that's just something to keep in mind. I would, next time we cruise, of course we're going to get our passport. The next thing that I want to talk about is that first day when you get on the cruise ship, they are going to offer you discounted prices for liquor. And I know this is not for everybody, but for us, we definitely wanted to get the Hennessy Pure White. On that first day of the cruise, the bottles were $62. I kind of wish that I got more than one bottle. We got one bottle. They do not allow you to bring liquor on the ship, so don't try it. You can try it. There's videos of people passing stuff through the checkpoints, but I would not advise to try to do that because it's a possibility they will confiscate it. But I have seen some videos of people getting kicked off the ship because of it. So when you buy your bottle of liquor on the last day of the cruise, they're going to drop those bottles off at your room. If you want to get the Hennessy Pure White for a good price, do it that first day that you get on the cruise ship, because all other days that bottle is almost $100, and even when you go to the ports, that bottle is almost $100. So get it on the first day of the cruise, you get a discount. They'll bring it to your room at the last day of the cruise. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is the rooms. We did a interior cabin with 4 beds. It was my husband, myself, and our 2 girls. They slept on the higher bunk beds, and we slept on the king size beds, which is 2 twin beds put together. Now, one thing that I would say is that if you are going to push the twin beds together, you can ask your the person who attends your room attendant, you can actually ask them to put a mattress pad on top of your bed. That way it doesn't have that dip in the middle, so it just feels like it's a regular king bed. So you can request that. That is an option. Rooms were a nice size. We basically didn't stay in the room for majority of the ship. We only went in there to wash and sleep. So the size of the rooms to me did not matter that much. Because it was 4 of us, it was kind of cramped. You know, we were sharing 1 bathroom, but we're a family, you can figure it out. It's only for 6 days while you're on vacation. So the room itself was not bad at all. They had a lot of storage. They had a lot of places where you can store things, and you get a mini refrigerator in the room as well. So for me, it was perfect for us. Now, if you have a bigger family, I would advise getting a adjoining room, because anything over 4 people, I don't think should be in those rooms. It's not enough space. So if you can get an adjoining cabin, because they do have those. We have some friends, they got an adjoining cabin, and it made the space feel a lot bigger. It does cost more, but overall you get a better room experience, so to speak. Now, there is one thing I want to talk about that I was not expecting. When you get on the cruise ship, okay, and I don't know if it was just the time that we were on the cruise ship, but if there is somebody in the bathroom and they are blowing up the bathroom, y'all know what I mean. If they are blowing up the bathroom, you can smell it in your bathroom. And it wasn't all the time, but it was enough to the point where you noticed it, which was another reason why we stayed out of the room during the day. We had a neighboring cabin holder, and she was having stomach issues, and the only reason why we found out is because we spoke to her daughter, and yes, she was tearing that thing up, and you could literally smell the sewage from the bathrooms. And so I'm not sure if they just didn't clean it out well or what happened, but that is something that I was not expecting on the cruise ship. Now, the next thing that I want to talk about is being seasick. Now, I have motion sickness in a car, okay? And so I was really nervous about doing a cruise ship, which is why me and my husband had never cruised before now. But honestly, being on that cruise ship, there was only 1 day where I actually felt sick, and that was because the ship was moving quicker to get to our next port. And so it was rocking a little bit more than normal. Now, at night, you can definitely feel the ship rocking, but the rocking rocked me to sleep. So out of 6 days, I only had 1 day that I actually kind of felt nauseous. It wasn't enough for me to throw up. And this is coming from someone who gets car sick. So it was perfect. I didn't have any problems. Now, the next thing that I want to bring up is the build of the ship. So there's only one issue that we did not think about when we got on the ship, which was the elevators. They do have stairs. Majority of the time we used the stairs because it was very difficult getting an elevator unless it was like a low peak time. So like sometimes late at night, you know, it was pretty easy to get an elevator, but anytime during dinner time, or if there are any big activities that people might be going to, yes, it was a little bit difficult, especially on that last day, which I will get to that. So please watch to the end of the video. I'll talk more about that. But the elevator situation, I feel like they should have spread out the elevators a little bit more, or there should have been an elevator on the front of the ship or one on the back of the ship. The elevators were pretty central and everybody was using them, but for the most part, you know, if you're not a walker, get ready, because you're going to have to walk the ship, especially if you're on a Carnival Mardi Gras, because that is the ship that we were on. Now, if you're the type of person that wants to see the front of the ship, if you're not in the spa suites, you're not going to be able to see the front of the ship. But if you go to the adult area, which is the Serenity area, which was amazing. We did not get to spend much time there, but we did go there for a short period of time on the last day. You can see the front of the ship from there, but that's the adults only area. So if you're traveling with kids, 9 times out of 10 you're not going to be able to really show them. You can, they have the back of the boat has a pool and a jacuzzi area. You can take them there, but to see the front of the ship, to see it forward moving, the places that you can see that on the ship is if you have access to the spa suites, and also if you have access to the adults only area. That was a little bit of a bummer, because we did want to take the kids to see the front of the boat, but that adult Serenity area is amazing. We did not get to indulge in that much. I'll explain that later. So the next thing that I want to talk about is the food. We did not have a bad food experience on the Carnival Mardi Gras, because they had so many different selections. We did go on the cruise with for a family reunion type situation, so we did not get to explore the restaurants like we wanted to. There are some that you have to pay for, of course. There's some that you have to get reservations for, but we did just like the regular dining on the ship, which I do not regret at all. The best places to go and eat, especially if you have a family, is going to be the marketplace, which is up on the pool deck. It's a buffet styled sitting area, so they have breakfast, lunch, dinner, and they have all the desserts, everything. That is the best spot to go if you have a family. Now, some other places that I like to go to was the Shack's restaurant. The sandwiches are the bomb. I was not expecting that. Shack's restaurant is really, really good. Then they have like the Blue Iguana, and on the pool deck area they have some quick eats, like the street eats is really, really good as well. Now the next thing I want to talk about is drinks. Me and my family, we got the bubbles package, which we did not use. I don't advise getting that package. If you like sodas, you can bring a 12-pack of sodas per adult. And so for my family, if we would have just done the sodas, we would have been straight for the whole cruise, because we don't drink sodas like that. And so you have access to juice and water and lemonade, and that's pretty much what we drank. So unless you're like a soda drinker, and even if you are a soda drinker, I just don't think that it's worth it for a week. You can just do the juice and the water. It's perfectly fine. That was a waste of money for us. Now the alcohol package. Me and my husband did not get the alcohol package. We did pay for our drinks out of pocket. Overall, for what we paid for the drinks that we got, which we mostly drank shots and stuff like that, like we didn't do a whole bunch of specialty drinks, but the average drink on the cruise ship was like $12. Some were like 11, maybe 10. You can get now. When they're going around on the pool deck and they're passing out shots for the little souvenir glasses, do not get those shots unless you just want the souvenir glasses, because it's not a real shot. It's like juice and water, okay? I'm just gonna tell you what it is, okay? If you're getting mixed drinks, they're watered down for the most part, unless you get a good bartender. The best bartenders are on the bottom side of the cruise ship, by where they have Pig and Anchor, which is the barbecue place. That area, those bars are totally different than the bars that's on top, and I think that they do that to water down the drinks so nobody's like incapacitated on the top of the ship. If you want good drinks, go down to the bottom of the ship, on the back side of the ship, where they have the Pig and Anchor for the barbecue spot. That's going to be your best bet, okay, if you want some good drinks. Now, out of around $400 on drinks for the overall cruise, but that was for me and my husband. If we bought the drink package and had unlimited drinks, we would have paid upwards of $600 for the two of us, because if you are in the same room with your person, it is $600 for that drink package, which was not worth it to us. So that was something that I would definitely take into consideration. If you are not a heavy drinker, it is not worth it getting that drink package. It's just not. Now, if you're in a room by yourself and you get the drink package, that's when I feel like it'll be worth it. But for two adults, if you don't drink that much, just buy your drinks. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is going to be Camp Ocean. We Camp Ocean is not an all-day thing. They have segments. So they have like a AM segment, a PM segment, and like a slight evening segment, and it's only in like 2 to 3 hour spurts. So if you're planning to use Camp Ocean, to us, for the activities that we wanted to do, it just did not work out. The one day that we did use Camp Ocean, our kids went in there and they weren't monitoring the kids like they should have been. And so our kids had a run-in with some other kids and some of our friends' kids. So that was not an enjoyable experience for them. So we only took them to Camp Ocean for a 2-hour time frame, and all of them said no. And I know kids are like, you know, they have their own preferences and stuff like that. You can force them to go there, but I don't think that that's an enjoyable experience. I heard that the teen area was very enjoyable for like the teenagers, but as far as the kids, it's in like 2 or 3 hour blocks. They do activities and stuff like that, but they're not really monitoring the different age groups from our experience on the day that we went. Now, there may have been other days that it was better, but on the one time that we went for that one little block, it was a no for us. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is the activities on the ship. Now, everybody knows that Carnival is known for fun, okay? And they really do know how to do fun. And so every day outside of your room, they have these little brochures posted, and it's called Fun Times. It has all of the main activities on the front, and on the inside it gives you an explanation of like the different restaurants when they're available. So like you can literally plan, don't pre-plan your itinerary, because it's not going to work, because you don't know what's happening until you actually get on the ship. We tried to pre-plan all of our stuff, and you really don't know what's happening until you actually get on the cruise ship. The parties, the adult parties, are fun on the pool deck. We did the tiki night, I believe, and they played a plethora of music. During the day on the pool deck, they calm it down, okay? Because it's a lot of wonderful people on the ship too. And so the pool deck during the day is for this. At night, it's lit, okay? If you know, you know. It is lit at night. And so we went to a pool deck party at night. They had a wonderful DJ. I don't remember what his name was, but he was island and he was lit. And so on that particular night, I'm going to talk about the Limelight Club. So I love to dance. Anyone that knows me knows I love to dance. So when we decided to go on Carnival, that's what I was excited for. And so the nighttime parties, a blast, okay? They had really fun activities during the day on the pool deck as well, where you can win medals and different things like that. There's always something going on the cruise ship. So you can't say that you're bored at all when you go on this cruise. If you're going just to sit down and relax, you can do that, but there's so much going on a cruise ship that it's like, it's fun. Like, it's just fun. So we went to me and my husband went to the Limelight Club one night, and it was lit. Me and my husband are older, okay? So we don't normally do like the club scene. We do island parties and that's about it. But we don't go to the club that often. So the Limelight Club was lit. It was the same DJ that was on the pool deck. He just basically goes to the Limelight Club. That club opens around 11 p.m. and it turns into a little college party. So if you're younger and you like to get down on it, I'm showing my age, but if you're younger in your 20s and stuff like that, that's a vibe. If you're a little bit older, I would say go there early and get you a little booth, because they do have like booth seating. So if you're older and you want to be in that vibe, you can go and get a booth seat. You cannot stand on the chairs, but it is set up like a club. It was literally packed in the middle of the club where the dance floor is. I don't even know how the inside of that place looked. It was so packed, but it was still a little bit of fun. Me and my husband went there for like 30-45 minutes. Now the next thing I want to talk about is the pizzeria. The pizzeria stays open really late at night, so if you're looking for something quick, that pizzeria is really good. It's always packed. but they get you through the line very, very quickly. So the pizzeria was very, very good. Also at night, what we did was we brought games on the cruise ship, and I am a game player. I love playing games. So there's certain areas that like the entertainment area, you can go there and play games if you want, or if you want to go in the marketplace when nobody's really there, you can go and play games there. We played spades and did different things. So like you don't have to be confined to your room at night, which was really, really nice. If you just want to walk the ship, the best time to do it is at night when it's not as busy, or early in the morning when everybody is sleeping from the night before. But they had cornhole tournaments. Me and my friend, we ended up actually getting second place in a cornhole tournament. They have trivia games, they have couples games, they have an adult game night, which was really, really fun. And if you've ever been on a Carnival Cruise, you know, if you go on a cruise, after you go to that adult game night, you know what this means. But it was a great time. I loved it. If you're going to any of the bigger activities like Family Feud or anything like that, it's in an auditorium. That auditorium can only hold, I don't even think, maybe 300 people. You have to go early to get seating. You cannot wait late. People be trying to save seats. Like games like Love and Marriage or Family Feud or anything like that, go early to get you a seat because it will fill up quickly. People are always saving seats. They're not supposed to, but any of that stuff you need to arrive at least 15 minutes early, because once it gets closer to the time, those seats fill up fast, and if you don't have a seat, you have to leave. It is not a situation where you can just stand up in there because there's not any space. So that is one thing that I would definitely say be mindful of if you're wanting to go to like those different game shows and different things like that. Now the next thing that I want to talk about is the ports. So the 3 ports that we went to on the Carnival Mardi Gras was the Bahamas, Embark, Cove, and Turks and Caicos. Now at the Bahamas port, they have like a shopping area that we basically walked through, and we walked to the beach, which was 15 minutes away. I actually enjoyed that as my second pick for the ports, because when you walked to the beach, it was like 15 minutes walks. That's why I say, like, if you're not a walker, you can stay on the cruise ship, or you can just walk from the cruise ship to the port and just do the shopping if you want. They have something for everyone. But the Bahamas port, that beach that you can walk to, which is 15 minutes away, and you can search it up on like your iPhone and go there, definitely was worth it. I really, really, really enjoyed that port. The beach was nice. We were able to do a lot of swimming. The water was calm. There wasn't a lot of people there. When you go to the ports though, and if there is a beach, you will have to pay for your chairs. So in Bahamas and Turks and Caicos, if you want a chair on the beach, you have to pay for them. The chairs cost about $30 for 2. And so we paid for 2 at Bahamas, and we also paid at Turks and Caicos. Now the Bahamas place, they also have drink, you know, they have drinks and stuff like that. It's a lot of the local people, so you get the whole experience. Love Bahamas. Amber Cove was my favorite. Amber Cove, there's actually like a water park there, and they have a big pool. They do, in the big pool, you can get in the pool, and they do like a whole pool party type situation. If you have kids, they have like a little shallow walk-in pool that you can do. They also have zip lining. They have slides. You pay additional for that. Zip lining, I believe it was like, I think I paid a total of like maybe like $30 per person, somewhere around in that vicinity. And we were able to do the slides unlimited, and we were able to do the zip lining unlimited. And so I went on the zip line maybe 2 times, I believe, which was nice. You do have to walk up a tall hill to get there, but it's worth it. I really enjoyed it. That was my favorite port out of all of them. If you walk up the hill and go to the top, they have like this cabana area that also has like a bar, and you can go up there and you can actually look out into the ocean and see the cruise ships and everything. That was absolutely beautiful. It was amazing. I sincerely enjoyed myself there. Now the next thing is Turks and Caicos. For Turks and Caicos, that was my least favorite place. We actually went to the beach. That was the most crowded beach out of all of the ports. If you're wanting to get seating, they have it very, very close together. Like literally, if you get 2 chairs, there's literally another chair right there. If you're having conversations, somebody else is going to hear it. Because we had the kids, we did go to the beach part of Turks and Caicos, but they do have Margaritaville. I kind of wish that we went there, but it was more of an adult party, which was why we didn't take the kids there. And that area was very crowded as well. I don't know if it was just because it was multiple ships there or what was going on, but it was very, very crowded. So Turks and Caicos, although it was beautiful, that was my least favorite port to be at. We also had a fight with well, no, we didn't have a fight with the locals, but 2 guys got into a fight over the beach chairs and selling the beach chairs. Like literally a fight, like punched each other. So that was the least favorite out of all of the ports. But Amber Cove, my absolute favorite. Great family friendly spot. They have good drinks there as well. Make sure that you have cash on hand if you're going to the ports. They do have card, but we didn't get any food on the ports. For the most part, we just went back to the ship whenever we got hungry. But for the most part, it was a wonderful experience at all of the ports. Okay, and last but not least of what I did not expect on the cruise ship was disembarkation. So when it's time for everybody to get off of that ship, you have to be out of your room by 8:15 a.m. on the last day of the cruise. It's literally like Atlanta traffic on 100. Okay, it's worse than LA traffic. It took us a while to get from our room because we were at the top of the ship. But advise that if you have a family to be at the top of the ship because it's just easier to get around as well, as far as the location of your room. However, getting off the ship, it was horrible. You really can't use the elevators. They have a certain way that you can push the buttons where it'll go straight down. A lot of people was doing that. So if you weren't at the top of the ship to go down, it was horrible. It was hard. It's like a bottleneck. And we took our bags. We didn't check our bags in the night before. Check your bags in the night before. They'll come to your room. They'll get, and they give you like this whole letter about disembarkation. Pay attention to it and follow this instruction. When you go to get off the ship, if you have your bags, you have to carry them all the way down with you. We had to go down all of the flights of steps to get off of the cruise ship. You don't have to go all the way to the bottom of the ship, but it was several flights of stairs and we had to carry all of our bags. So check your bag in the night before. Okay, just be prepared for that. Have you a carry-on duffel bag that has all of your essentials in it and carry that with you. Also, if you have a rolling suitcase, take that. Because that's going to make everything easier. We decided to do the duffel bags that have the wheels on them. It was HELL trying to take those bags and all of that traffic to get off of the ship, and that took a while. It was very, very frustrating because everybody, like literally everybody's just getting off the ship at one time. It was a headache. Now the next thing is, so remember how I said on the embarkation day it was really easy to get on the cruise ship? If you have your birth certificate, they have a totally different line than if you have your passport. If you have your passport, that process was maybe 20 minutes, if that, once you got off of the ship. If you had your passport, it took us almost 2 hours to get off of the ship because they have to check your birth certificate, and there's a lot of people that get on cruise ships on their birth certificates. If I could do anything differently, I would definitely get my passport to get off of the ship, okay? Because that was absolutely ridiculous, and there was a lot of people that traveled on their birth certificates. If you go through your passport, they literally have this little screen, take your picture, go. That's it. I will never do that again. But out of all the things that I have told you guys, I hope that this video helps you guys out. I hope that it makes your experience a little bit better, and I hope it explains a couple of things. But yeah, oh yeah, and I should have said this in the beginning of the video. If you're 420 friendly, don't bring it on the cruise ship. We had somebody in our group that got kicked off the cruise ship because they had 420 stuff. If you know, you know. So don't do it. Just don't do it. All right, but I hope this video helps you guys out. I hope you guys enjoy your cruise. It's going to be amazing. If you're thinking about going on a cruise, do it. It was the best experience. All-inclusive food, family games, fun. Carnival is amazing, and I definitely will go on Carnival again. So until next time, you guys, peace and love. Bye.
I need someone to be patient with me. Someone to get money when I take it from me. They don't even need to be as famous as me. I don't think I meet them at the places I be, but deep down I think about you all.